What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. Couple of things I want to get into. I just want to say something. I want to start this by saying this, man. Does anybody other than me find it odd, find it real weird that Mark Brealand was fired? Right? This is word that we got. There was nobody denied it from the Wilder camp that he wasn't fired, right? He was fired. And he was fired for allegedly poisoning the water of Deontay Wilder and being an informant for Tyson Fury. So this came out as the reason that he was fired. So this was considered facts, right? By Team Wilder. That hey, we fired him for that, right? So for the people and the Wilder fan channels, to them this is facts. Okay. So I did a video and I asked, why hasn't anybody reached out to Mark Breland? Okay. Now, even though I said that and I feel like I made myself clear, a lot of times you don't make yourself clear to people, not because you don't make a good point, they just don't fucking understand what you're saying. So let me just say it like this way. Okay, just to further elaborate on that, and I'm going to get off of that. Wouldn't it make more sense for people that's trying to push a narrative that, okay, we came up with Tyson Fury was definitely on something, right? Then all of a sudden that's debunked. There was nothing found in the system. Now all the people calling him a cheater, murderer, slash gangster, all these things, right? You have no substantial evidence. Now, out of all the claims that you make, at least Mark Breland was fired for the water poisoning situation, right? Don't you think they would harp on that and say, hey, look, you see? And reach out to this guy to try to get words from him? Because they want to further their point, right? So even though he was fired, they're still making Glovegate videos. I mean, it's weird because I'm pulling up, I'm just seeing what's going on in boxing and not looking for their channels. I don't look for them, but they're popping up because there's all boxing, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm still seeing Glovegate videos. And it's like, okay. So you can't prove the Glovegate shit, but what you're claiming to be proof is, look at the glove, the pictures. Listen, man, I'm not convinced. And everybody that they say such and such a thing happened, oh, the photographer was threatened to take his pictures down, this happened, that happened, the doctor said this, the doctor said that. So nobody has spoken up and said shit. I saw a video. It said it was Dante's Boxing Nation that the WBC finally reaches out to speak to Deontay Wilder. And then he was ranting in his video. And it just took him too long to get to his point. So I'm honestly telling you, I didn't even finish watching the whole video. Because what he started talking about, which let me know the WBC didn't do shit. He starts talking about old media, new media. And that he had this footage of all of this for months. Right before he actually put it out. And I'm saying, okay. And mind you, the footage was from the first fight. So we're talking about after the second fight when Deontay gets beat up and knocked out, okay, and stopped on the ropes. So you mean to tell me this footage that you had was from the first fight, but you waited until after the second fight to speak on it? And that shit right there alone doesn't make the people that follow his channel think, wait a minute, man. If you had this footage all this time, why wasn't it relevant from day one? Why? Why would it take a second fight for you to even, because if that's the case and he was cheating, wouldn't you want to get this information out there first? So when going into the second fight, something like what you're claiming happened doesn't happen because we caught this guy cheating with loaded gloves, metal in his glove, all these fucking claims that keep coming out. And like I said, every fucking other day it's a different claim, right? And I'm sitting there going, damn, I thought, like, No, I'm not even shocked because I was pretty much not even talking about Glovegate. Like, it's done. I'm over that shit. But it's like, damn, they're still talking about this shit. So basically, this just like you have people that believe that shit, they want to believe it because they're all pro Wilder channels and all that. You have people that's like bullshit. You're not proving anything to us. Show us some proof. Show us something that we can go by. And you know what? They can't. So even though the man was fired, and they could capitalize, not that it makes the fucking Glovegate shit true, but at least for your followers to try to make some sense out of all the goofy shit that they're saying. That look, this guy it was fired. We called it no. He was called an informant, and initially it was one Anthony or Andre Darrell. Which one of the Darrell brothers was at the fight saying, "Stop that fight, man. He taking too much punishment." Right? He was called an informant for Team Fury. Nobody was calling Mark Brealand an informant. So months and months and months later, after all this, I'm cutting the grass so I could weed out all the snakes. You only find one snake, and nobody is trying to reach out to this man to find out what happened, what's his side of the story. Nobody's indulging in the fact that, hey man, we told you, Fury cheated, and now that Wilder was fired Breland, you see, and the fact that Fury even said if Wilder fires him, I will hire Mark Breland, right? Only time they spoke about this is when information came out that Mark Breland was fired. But other than that, they're not making videos about the poison water situation. They're still talking about Glovegate, Glovegate, Glovegate. And why wouldn't you be able to say, okay, we failed with the fucking Fury on drugs bullshit. We're still trying to get people to believe the Glovegate, and a lot of people that's riding with us, the people that ride with us, they believe this bullshit. So we're pushing that. But out of everything we said, what went public, okay, what went public is the simple fact by channels that the information that they got about Mark Breland being fired. Now we have something that we can go on as well to add to this Glovegate shit. So at least when we creating these fairy tales up, and this, I mean, it's bullshit, man. You keep repeating the same shit, and then it's like, like when you tell lies, what you do to cover up one lie when it's not working? You tell another lie. That lie don't work, and it's just one lie on top of another lie on top of another lie. And that's what these guys are doing. Nothing that they say is making fucking sense. But people that keep saying, oh, but Fury this, and like I said, I'm not defending fucking Fury. I don't give a shit about any of these guys personally. I like fighters. As fighters, I don't know them personally. Like I said, you can meet these people in person and think they're real jerks. I don't know. I don't fucking care. That's not what I'm looking at. Now, as far as what I'm saying, it's not personal with me. I mean, I'm not defending Fury. I'm defending, what I'm saying is, basically, I'm not defending anything. What I'm saying is, you don't have what you call evidence. If this shit went to court, do y'all really fucking think the allegation that these motherfuckers are saying is gonna stand? I mean, somebody robbed my house. I'm not gonna depend on my fucking neighbor or people that like me from wherever to be defending me. I'm not gonna fucking speak up and try to get to the bottom of who fucking robbed my house. I'm gonna sit back and let everybody else talk for me. So at least with this, they will be able to build on this and start to make more allegations, connect these things, even though it's false. But you know what? The fact that this shit went public, yeah, everybody can say, well, damn, Mark Breland really got fired. Like I said, we don't even know if Mark Breland is guilty. But just like the Glovegate shit and all that, they don't care. They keep trying to push this shit and trying to push it because as many people as they can convince. To me, it's not even about defending Wilder anymore. It's about them with their own bullshit agendas. It's like moral victories for them to keep getting people on their side, to keep believing this shit. So the more they look in the comments and everybody's agreeing with them and nobody's like debunking this shit or going against what they're saying, then they feel better about it. But if you had all this information before fight 2, this is some shit that you wouldn't put this information out. Like, hold up, look at this glove. Look, man. We are in the world of Photoshop. We are in the world of bullshit. We are in the world of where people can take anything and make it look believable. Like I said before, you can take a person that had the least fucking knockouts in boxing, the or the person that had the least points in basketball. You could put a highlight film together and make that motherfucker look like he's on top of the world because it's edited and it's you know what I'm saying. But that's video. All we get on YouTube is a video channel. All we get is some fucking still pictures of a fucking circle and then the glove. The crazy thing is how the glove look different at different times from the same angles. It looks different. Different shots, but same angle, and the glove look different. Now, if you're punching with a glove, that at some point, yeah, especially when gloves get waterlogged. We done went through all that. I'm not going to keep going through that shit. But I just find it weird that even though out of everything that they said, the only action that was taken by Deontay Wilder, by Team Wilder, was to fire Mark Brealand, but they keep talking about Glovegate, and this motherfucker still ain't said nothing about Glovegate. Now, on to something else. I did a video about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, and I'm not going so much into that, but, and I did a video about Rocky Marciano's record, and it was wise that he retired when he did. And what I just want to add to what Mike Tyson is doing, because I want to say this, because a lot of times, we see things a certain way, but then you look at life itself, not just a particular thing. You look at the whole picture instead of a part of the picture. I said that, when Mike first announced he was back, I said then that, I didn't think it would be wise for Mike to try to go after the world title or something like that. And I didn't think that it's fair that he could just jump over guys like Dylan White, guys, Daniel Dubois, guys that's busting their ass, that, Mike had his day in the sun already. Mike's 54 years old now. I didn't think it would be right for him to leapfrog over these guys, and just for name's sake, or because of the spectacle, because of the event, that would be no different from like people's talking about, like a Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, or Ali versus Antonio Inoki. Yeah, Mike's a boxer, but Mike's also at an advanced age. Mike went out with losses. Even if he went out, look, Lennox Lewis went out with victories. Okay, he won his last fight. Well, at the end of the day, if Lennox Lewis was coming back right now, just because he went out as a winner, I'm not expecting Lennox Lewis to be the same Lennox Lewis. And, the thing is, like, Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones, any of these other guys, none of these guys get the same type of hype or reaction from the crowd that Mike Tyson gets. So because of their favoritism towards Mike, them that they like Mike the way they do, it's like they're not realistic. They're looking at him like he's still 21. No. But what Mike is doing, when I look at it on this side of things, and I made a mention of like the big three, Ice Cube's basketball league. This is what Mike is doing. Now it makes more sense because I said if he's fighting guys his age group, and it's not that they can't hurt each other, because you still can. The thing is, at this age, they don't have a second and third gear. It's all going to be one gear for them. So you don't have that risk of just, this guy's just too advanced. It's, and all these guys are closer in age. But what he's doing, man, he's giving people, like, people have a whole new lease on life when they can do something like this. Because you had your day in the sun, and it's like you get a certain age, you can't do it anymore. And then you're sitting back, and it's like, they're just memories, because you can't relive what you did or didn't do. But now, you have a chance to go out there and say, you know what, I can still compete, And this is cool. The difference with, like, basketball, of course, and anything else is you're not taking blows and you're not getting, brain damage and all that type of stuff. But I think it's cool when you look at it that way. And this was all a charity thing in the beginning. And it was just like an exhibition. No exhibitions they usually doing with head guards on is, 3 or 4 rounds and stuff like that. And this is, now they didn't say if they're going to wear head guards or not. I don't think they are. I don't know, but they didn't talk about that. But yeah, I mean, because people get to a certain age in life, just like you see people doing these versus battles and stuff with rap music and singers and all of that. People that already have legendary status, they're able to come out and and that's something created through this COVID situation. But it might continue. after COVID. It might continue. It might just be something that, you know what I mean, grows bigger than what they imagined it. And I feel like that's what Mike is doing, because this is an actual league now. So what Mike is doing is great in that sense. And like, I just hope, of course, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I hope that this is something that it lasts. It's not just, well, it's fun while it lasted, but it lasts, it sticks around, and that they can keep it going. And for it to be a league would make a lot more sense than just random exhibitions. You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's like random exhibitions, because then you have to try to get people on the card. But now, if it's an actual league, it can start to generate a lot more money. And in the long run, it can't be just legends, because at some point you're going to be just too old to do it. So at some point, the ideas will have to grow, and it will change everything about what we know right now and like what the initial plans was. But we'll see. So in that sense, I think it's a great thing. And I'm not going to tell somebody they shouldn't fight, but like I said, no. As far as them getting there with these young lions, and no. I mean, we can try to overlook, Mike Tyson's last two losses and act like they never happened, and pretend this is the same Mike that knocked out Michael Spinks. But come on, wake the fuck up. That's not what this is, man. But what Mike is doing, I think that's a great thing. And I said if he was fighting his peers, then that would be cool. And that's what it looked like it's going to be. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm all for that, man. I think that's cool when you look at it that way, because initially, like I said, it was, and I always emphasize, it wasn't Mike Tyson, it wasn't Evander Holyfield, it wasn't Antonio Tarver, it was not James Toney. It was these nut ass fans and these nut ass fan channels talking about Mike will knock Anthony Joshua out. He'll knock out Andy Ruiz. He'll knock out Tyson. Stop that bullshit, man. Stop that fucking bullshit. Are you really that fucking stupid? Like, are you really that fucking stupid that you really think that Mike is? I mean, and then you start talking about in his prop. You see, this is so fucking stupid. You change the whole complexion of the conversation. This is not a fucking conversation about who would win in their pro. No, we're talking about Mike Tyson. Who gives a fuck about that? And it's all opinions anyway, but who cares about that? This is about a 54-year-old man climbing back into the fucking ring to fight. And no matter what Mike say, you motherfuckers are saying something different, completely different from what Mike say. Mike never once said anything about he wants to fight this guy. Even the stuff about him fighting, Mike Tyson wants Tyson. No. That was an offer thrown out there. That was an offer, and it wasn't from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson never said he wants to fight Tyson Fury. That was clickbait bullshit. I watched the videos myself. Mike Tyson, and that's why I never actually did an actual video on it. Because Mike Tyson never fucking said he wants to fight Tyson Fury. That was an offer thrown out there. Matter of fact, I saw in the video where Mike was throwing $39 million to fight on bare knuckle. We heard about the $20 million, but then there's a video about him being offered $39 million, and that was 2 fucking years ago. So you understand what I'm saying? This is not like it's something just new. So Mike Tyson himself never said he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. The only thing I heard Mike supposedly had said, well, Mike is like, give me six weeks or something, I'll beat Deontay Wilder. Wilder was talking shit about Mike. Mike responded and said whatever. No different from Brealand and Floyd. I beat your daddy, I whoop your ass too. You understand what I'm saying? They back and forth talking shit to each other. But that's all that is. But when you hear something, people try to take that one little thing somebody said and they make a fucking movie script out of it because they want likes and views. But that's not what that was. And like I said, Mike Tyson himself never said anything about fighting any current world heavyweight champion or whatever. And listen, even if he wanted to, you all will end up being real sorry. And oh man, that's fucked up what happened to Mike if he goes in there and really gets hurt. Because like I said, man, you ain't been in the ring sparring. Even videos that's up right now, clickbaiting you. New leaked footage of Mike Tyson sparring. Why is everything fucking leaked? Do y'all understand that? You can tell bullshit leaked footage. Why is it leaked? Leaked means I didn't mean for this to get out to the public. Oh, so Mike don't see these motherfuckers holding the cameras at him. He don't see that shit, right? And not one video is Mike Tyson sparring. He's hitting the mitts. Every fucking video is Mike Tyson hitting the mitts. He's not sparring anybody. That's clickbait. And you fools believe it. You click onto it, and then you still keep following these channels that keep saying the same shit. That's your choice. Hey, I ain't mad at you. But these people keep saying stupid shit, and you guys keep falling for it. Mike Tyson hitting mitts and looking explosive like he always does. He's not the only fighter that looks good, man, hitting mitts and hitting the back, jumping rope and all. He's not the only one. But he always looks more explosive than everybody else. But you want to know what? At the end of the day, we don't even know how well Mike can take a punch right now. How is his jaw right now? When's the last time he been cracked in the face by a heavyweight? You understand? We don't know this shit. But we keep talking about what Mike is going to do when he comes back, and Mike going to do this, and Mike going to do that, Mike going to do this. Hey, man, I think it's beautiful what he's doing, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and start acting foolish and start making this imaginary Mike Tyson, giving him powers that he don't have right now. So him saying, I'm stronger, faster, more determined, more tuned in and mentally. Yeah, he's saying it. Mike is a showman. Mike is trying to sell a fight. It's the same guy, Lennox Lewis not a conqueror. He's not a conqueror. I'm the conqueror. I'm Alexander the Great. I'm the greatest ever. I'm the greatest of all time. There's never been anybody like me. I want to eat his heart. I want to eat his kids. All praises to Allah. That's the same man, right? That said all that and then was wiping blood off Lennox Lewis' face going, if he thinks I don't respect him, he's crazy. Didn't he sound like he hated Lennox Lewis? Like he wanted to fuck Lewis up, right? Like he hated that motherfucker. That's how he sounded in that interview, right? Okay, that's Mike, being Mike. Roy Jones is going to deal with this power and speed. That's just me. I only know one speed. Roy's got to deal with that. We're going to see what's going to happen. I just want to see a good event. Not just their fight, but the whole card. I just want to see a good event. It's pay-per-view. Who the fuck wants to order a pay-per-view and then feel like, man, I wasted my fucking money on this bullshit? Nobody wants to do that. I just want to see a good event. But again, man, I hope this is something that is a success, that it sticks around. They're definitely going to have to polish up things about it. Like they're going to have weight classes. They're going to have title belts. The money's got to be there. Because one thing, if something feels big, people want to be a part of it. If it doesn't feel big, it feels like just some random bullshit they threw together and it wasn't well thought out, it'll fail. You know what I mean? So if this thing is thought out well and the ideas come off and people are intrigued by it, yeah. And they're going to have these superstar names, these old, these guys around it. So like I said, maybe behind the scenes, they might be working together and, keeping things together. And hey, we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say in this video. And I will catch y'all on the next one.